Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Heartbeats of Adapted PE podcast. My name is Jen Heebink, and I am a full-time adapted PE teacher, or DAPE teacher, as you're going to be hearing in our podcast today. And I teach in a smaller, more rural district outside of Minneapolis, about 40 miles away. And today, we're here for episode 6. I've called this podcast episode 6 with our friend Lisa Smith. It's called Full Circle Moments in Unified PE. And we're going to be talking all about how teaching students, all students, has really impacted our life and brought us to some full circle moments. So here at the Heartbeats of Adapted PE podcast, we're here to inspire, connect, and amplify adapted PE teacher voices and those who support all students. And today is definitely one of those days where we're connecting with a teacher who has taught developmental adapted physical education, DAPE adapted PE, and physical education. And she has really just used her platform to dig in and just become such a great teacher. And so we celebrate the heart today, which is kind of the storytelling behind us as teachers. We're teachers, we're human, we have stories. And so we're going to celebrate them and tell them. And then we also have this beat, the daily rhythm in our essential field. And so when you put it together, you get the Heartbeats of Adapted PE podcast. And so we're going to bring this podcast to you one time per month. And being episode 6, I cannot believe we've been doing this now for half a year. Wild. I can still remember sitting in one of the conference rooms at the convention center at Shape Baltimore thinking, what am I getting myself into? But I am so glad that I started this because it's been so fun to connect with so many professionals across the country. And today is no different, although Lisa is more local. We're going to get into her story in a little bit. But I also want to highlight that MinDAPE is coming. MinDAPE is next week. It's our Minnesota Developmental Adapted Physical Education Conference. It is one of the best around. And we're in the Midwest, obviously being in Minnesota, but we are celebrating our 50th MinDAPE. And so that's kind of a big deal. We've been around for a really long time. And this year we're even doing some things with the retirees to celebrate them, to celebrate also that they have laid the foundation for MinDAPE for the last 50 years for all of us to just be good advocates and teach all students. And so with that, I want to welcome someone who has been to MinDAPE and lives in Minnesota, and that is our friend Lisa Smith. Hello, Lisa. How's it going?
Hello. Good. Thank you for having me, Jen.
Yes. Before we get in, can you just share one of your favorite MinDAPE stories or memories? Because I have one that has nothing to do with like presenting or anything, but it has to do with you, and I wonder if you remember it.
Oh, I can't wait. I have so many great memories of MinDAPE. MinDAPE is such a cool conference in the fact that you stay on site and you go to camp. Like it's like literally going to summer camp. So I think, oh man, there's just the campfires at night and just connecting with everyone. Everybody pushing their giant carts around, like Kay Oling and her make and takes.
Oh, classic.
Oh, it's just an absolute legend. Yes. I would say that probably one of my favorite. I got my start presenting at MinDAPE, so I think one of my very first presentations was in MinDAPE, and so that's always dear to my heart. But I'm sure I probably did. Did I do something funny?
Well, there were those. Do you remember the day we were all putting our stuff away, and then we decided the wheelbarrows were available for like go-karts?
Yep. Yes, we did.
We had fun. We emptied all of our stuff and decided in these two little wheel go-kart. They're not even go-kart. They don't have wheels. They're just like, what are they called? Wheelbarrows. And we just pushed each other. I think, didn't we make a train with Megan?
100%.
And we like wheeled through camp, and everybody was like, have they been drinking? Like, no, we're sober.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for me, it's the bonfire and just hanging out with fun people. And
absolutely.
We actually we have people coming from Chicago for the weekend.
Yeah. And I
So,
mean, Pete, the master of the fire.
and the archery
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That it
So,
they have that conference is iconic, and anyone that has the chance to go to that, I would highly recommend it.
for sure.
Yeah.
So let's get into your story because we're celebrating the heart a lot today, the storytelling. And I want you to just share a little bit about your background, just briefly, because we're going to dig in. But I want to
Okay.
just hear a little bit about your background, where you are now, and how long you've been teaching.
So this is my 18th year teaching. I currently teach at Lakeville South High School in Lakeville, Minnesota. So that's about 20 minutes south of Minneapolis, suburban high school, right on the fringe of being a little bit more rural. So it's a big high school. It's a big high school. I teach all kinds of things: health, PE, adapted PE, and unified PE. So, 6
All
preps,
the
no big deal.
things.
And we do it
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
crush it. You
Why
crush
not?
it. I'm sure you do,
Yeah.
right?
Thanks.
So I want to specifically start with one of the schools you started at, which was Proctor. Was that your first job?
My
Did you
first
teach
job
somewhere
was
else?
my first like real girl job. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first real teaching, job was up in Proctor, which is just outside of Duluth,
Okay.
Minnesota. So up on that North Shore.
Yep. Can you describe like the community and what that looks like?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
North up there is so that's a considered a rural area, and it's got. I looked at this. Proctor actually has a 612 building. So I was there, and I
Oh,
had students. Yeah, I had students for a really long time, so I really got to know them, which made it really hard to leave when I did leave.
yeah.
But I checked the numbers. They're about just under 1,000 kids for grades 6 through 12 now. And
Okay.
I still feel really connected to the rails and with Proctor. I, I exchange pleasantries with their teachers a lot, and I still am very close with some families from up there. So, that they once a rail, always a rail. I definitely, they're a big part of my story and a big part of my heart. So, yeah. I was
Awesome.
there
So,
from 2012 to 2019.
okay. So you were there for a
Mhm.
good chunk.
Yeah.
When you got there, what did teaching adapted PE look like? How did you see your students? How did you see it?
That yeah, and that's actually why I got my job there. We moved there right before
Oh,
school started in 2012, and I just started as like a part-time adapted PE teacher, and by the end of the first week of like workshops, I was a full-time teacher. It was
wow.
it was wild, but it was great. And so it was just traditional adapted PE. Then and I
Okay.
actually was the K-12 for the entire district. So I was traveling. I was a
Oh,
traveling
itinerant.
day teacher. So they had 2 elementary schools that were offsite, and then the K-12, or sorry, 612 building
Okay.
there in Proctor. So that's what it started as.
Yeah.
I started out
And
that way.
did you see your students like in all different settings? Like, did you push in? Did you pull in one-on-ones? Did you do
All of
small group?
yes,
All of it.
every setting you could imagine. Yes,
Yeah.
and like I said, it was and pre-K actually. I went to
Okay.
the preschool that fed the district as well. So I was pre-K 12, and I was in every setting possible in every domain possible. Yeah.
Wow. Cool. And I
Mhm.
know like when we met, it was a little bit farther down the road, but you somehow had this really amazing connection with Special Olympics. And I'd like for
Mhm.
you to share a little bit about how you got connected with them and why they became important.
I would love to do that. And
Yeah.
so Proctor, when I got there, there was a special education teacher. And I connected with her right away, and she actually was the coach for the school. They had a school team for Special Olympics for
Amazing.
bowling and whatnot. And so she was coaching this Special Olympics team for bowling and swimming and track. Her name is Danielle Wines, and she took me under her wing, and she's like, "You're going to coach us with me." And I said, "Yeah, why wouldn't I? This is amazing." And I hopped in both feet forward and jumped into the Special Olympics scene, which is actually very vibrant up in Duluth with the Duluth All Stars
Awesome.
and the Rock and Rails. And Cloquet's got a team, and up in the range, like it's a great
Awesome.
place. And so we started with that, and then I just was thinking, let's start, the unified stuff, because Special Olympics was starting to roll that out, and we were having our meetings and they're saying, well, do you want to try this? Do you want to do this? And we were like, yeah, that would be super fun. And so we started getting some unified partners and doing some unified sports. And that kind of sparked the ideas of, why don't I do this for my PE class?
Yeah.
And, is this a thing and is it not? So I talked to our rep, if you will, our coordinator for the area, and
liaison, champion school,
liaison, one of them. And this was way before the unified schools. I don't even think they were doing it.
Yeah.
And so this was like in 2014. We started having these conversations in 2014 about what this could look like, and how I just having the ideas of bringing in peers intentionally, with intention, and just trying it out. And then I was just having a conversation with them at that time, is Nick Cedergren. And he said, well, there's another person who's kind of talking about this, and they're doing similar things throughout the United States, and it's called Unified PE. And I really think we should bring it here to Minnesota. And I think you and this other person should pilot it next year. And this was talking about the 2015-2016 school year. So I just was like, yeah. And my principal, Tim Roweter, was like, absolutely, like, we're doing this. So typically, when you want a new class, you have to go through the whole process.
Yeah.
No, this was so special that they were like, no, we're going to do this. And I think we can handle, all the logistical pieces of it, and let's do it. And so we did. We had meetings with Special Olympics, and they gave us a bunch of support. And Sutar was instrumental in that as well, in meeting with us, and Mike Meserol, and we were they were writing documents for Special Olympics at the same time. And so I think it just was this beautiful, like, light of it's happening. It was just happening all at the same time. In our little town of Proctor, and it was incredible. It just, Special Olympics was a big deal. I do, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a minute to the woman that started Special Olympics at Proctor. She just passed away from cancer a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Danielle Wines was instrumental in that community. And I do want to mention that, and just give space for her for a moment, because she was just like us.
Yeah.
She served her kids so well, and the community so well. And I was lucky to learn from her and be a part of her legacy. So, and
amazing.
She started Night to Shine up there. It was really neat.
My kids,
she started Night to Shine.
They Night to Shine inspired us to do Unified Prom this past year. So that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast.
A whole nother podcast.
But the best. So I did. I thank you for giving me space to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to get to talk about Danielle and how wonderful she was to that community. So
absolutely. So just getting into like the nitty gritty of what Unified is, if you were to tell somebody else, this is the definition of Unified PE, how would you describe that to someone who doesn't know? Like, what would you say the class looks like?
Well, if you asked my student Ryan, he would tell you that we're a family, because that's what he says all the time.
I love that. I love that.
Yep. And often, it's the textbook term, right? Students with and without intellectual disabilities coming together in the same space, and engaging in activities together, sometimes modified, sometimes not, sometimes on the fly, whatever it looks like. And a lot of the times it ends up being way better than you ever planned.
Yes, absolutely. Do you feel like, I know this question was going to come to my mind later, but maybe now is a good time to ask it. Like, do you feel as adapted PE teachers at your core, general PE teachers, just seeing a whole picture, do you feel like Unified gave you like a lens to better teach all students? Like, no matter who comes into your room, you're like, I feel like I know what I'm doing way
hands down.
Better now.
Hands down. I I will die on this hill. I am a better teacher because of this class. I'm a
100%.
better teacher because of the lens and because it just provides you with the opportunity to see students exactly as they are. Every
Mhm.
student has a processing time, every single one of them.
Mhm.
Every single
Mhm.
student. Every single student has needs. Every single student has different everything. And so
Yeah.
being able to strip it back to the basics for everyone sometimes is awesome and provides everyone with the ability to reflect and to just be
Mhm.
themselves, and also just to get silly and to bring in
Yeah,
all the different, yeah, to bring in all the, change it up. I very rarely will you ever play a game, or should you really, the way that it was designed, right? The rules only
oh,
apply to the people in the
absolutely.
space. The rules only
Yeah,
apply to people in the space. And that's what I said. I'm like, oh, let's rewrite our rules
yeah,
here. And I tell that to my students all the time. And I think that there's absolutely no way that I would be the teacher that I am without this class. There's no way.
for
I'd
sure.
probably be
Yeah.
boring. I'd be a boring
I
teacher.
I honestly, and maybe you feel this way too, like we had to, when we were writing about our teacher of the year process, like talk
Yeah.
so much, like it was big points to talk about universal design for learning.
Yeah.
And to be honest, before the teacher of the year process, I was pretty clueless. Like we're very good in Minnesota. Would you agree with like differentiation, where it's like
Yeah.
one kid doing that one ball, but still participating.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like Unified also taught me that universal design works.
It
And
does.
when you
Yeah.
when you provide the yarn balls and the gator balls and the footballs,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you play football with.
Nope.
You're still playing.
Still doing it. Still doing it.
Nowhere in the standards does it say you have to play
Nope.
with a football when you're playing football,
Exactly.
So I say that all the
Exactly.
time.
Absolutely.
So when kids come to your class, how do you like what's the ratio, and how do you put them in and to help them be successful? So looking at that ratio, tell me a little bit about that.
My classes now.
Just any unified PE class, or like when you were in Proctor or when
Sure.
you were here. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I've had every makeup of unified possible. I've had one-to-one,
Mhm.
partners to classmates. I've had 3-to-1 partners to classmates. I mean, I have the gamut. So like right now I have 2 sections of unified, and one has 38 kids and one has 12.
Yeah.
So I've got, it just depends on the hour of the day and the availability of all the different students' schedules. And so
Yep.
it just depends on that. But the makeups of them are always different. And that's the best part. Like there's
Yeah.
no way to replicate a unified year to year. Like there's
It's
just not.
different. Yeah.
Exactly. There's just not. And the students and then are the dynamic makeup, and they're the ones that make it so special.
Right. I
Yeah.
know, like for me, I think of like my high school class compared to like my middle school class, and they're like
Mhm.
completely different and separate ideology, almost like same idea where we're all family, right? I love
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
quote that you shared from your student. I also think like the high school, I have basically 1-to-1. And then at the middle school, they have alternating band schedules that can't, make it
Yeah.
into class or whatever. And so then I have maybe 4 partners for 9 students with disabilities. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
it is like the makeup is different year to year and class to class and
Right.
quarter to quarter, even.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the biggest like difference was when I was at Proctor and I had 6th through 12th grade.
Yeah.
And actually at Proctor, students could stay until they were like 20.
Yeah.
They could. And
Transition
so,
age.
I mean, yeah. So it was very, very interesting because I would have a 6th grader and then maybe like a 19 or 20-year-old in the
Okay.
same unified class.
Wow.
And yeah, and it worked. It worked.
Isn't that so cool?
It
Like,
was.
it's so cool.
Mhm.
Um,
I do miss I miss them all. I miss them.
yeah, I bet. I love that you're sharing so much about them, because that just shares how much like they've impacted you. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Oh, they're
Um,
definitely in my fabric for sure.
so when it comes to unified, or really like any, DAPE activity with any student, what have been your favorite either adapted PE, sports, or unified activities, or if you have like a memory or something that you want to share?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start. Proctor, we swam. It was awesome.
I love
We had a
swimming.
pool and it was so cool. We would do all kinds of like safety, survival, in and outs. And like it was so fun. We would do stations in the pool and work on all different types of things. And I loved swimming with our unified class. I loved, we did a flash mob with the
Stop.
choir. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. With
That's awesome.
when the Greatest Showman came out.
Oh, that
And oh
show's the
yeah, I
best.
know, what we did. And it was incredible. We would do a assembly every trim or sports season to talk about the different accolades and whatnot of sports teams, academics, all that kind of stuff. And so the choir started singing, and then I was talking about unified bowling, and then the choir was kind of like all like scattered within, and then I quoted the song. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the song?
Is
You
it The
know,
Greatest Show or This Is Me?
no, it was the one. This is me. This is me.
This
So
is
then
me.
I quote it exactly, and they stand up and they start singing, and then my students are on the stage, and then we're all singing, and it was like
Were you
somewhere there's got to
crying?
be a
I
video
would
of
have
it. Oh,
cried.
100%. Just the whole place was in puddles. The whole
Oh,
place was in puddles.
geez.
And there's got to be a video somewhere. I don't. I got to call Ted or
I
someone
love
and see if
it.
there's a video, because that was, oh, it was great.
That was good.
It was the greatest thing. I mean, it was so fun. We did
Amazing.
that. Just, Night to Shine, of course, stemmed from the Unified and the Special
Mhm.
Olympics connection up there. So having that strong connection. Right now, tomorrow, my classes are going to be doing a victory day. We're combining with Farmington High School, which is kind of like our cousin just down the street,
Yeah.
and we're doing a victory day with their unified class, where it's
Oh, yes.
yeah, rooted in sportsmanship and community and unity,
Mhm.
and it's going to be super fun, and I'm really really excited about that. We've been working with our football team on that, and just of course like the daily delights that we have in class
Mhm.
that are just unexpected and wonderful, and there's 1,000 billion stories of feel good
So
moments.
many.
And yeah, and there's also moments of growth and moments
Mhm.
where you're surprised because um something that was really difficult we got through together.
Yeah.
Whether it was an activity that someone didn't enjoy, or just those little moments where you see people just be people, and
Yeah.
that's the neat part. But I yeah, I have so many feel good stories to tell, but
Yeah.
also just hilarious stories
Right? Oh my gosh. So I feel
too.
the
What's your top
community.
story?
What's my oh I
Mm,
got so
too
many.
many, too many.
Too many. But something that you mentioned with the Victory Day, I feel like anyone who teaches Unified PE, and I know in other states Unified PE can mean different things, but in the
Right.
state of Minnesota, it means a very strong partnership with Special Olympics. But
Mhm.
adapted PE teachers and general PE teachers are teaching classes. It is a standards based class based around
Right.
needs. So I
Yes.
just want to mention that. But anyone who teaches Unified, I just feel like we get each other so well. And then when someone says, hey, we are doing this event with our unified PE classes, would anybody like to come? And we just all just like, me, like email, like everybody just supports each other so much. And I want to point out too, I'm gonna skip a question on our agenda and get to this one about what does unified PE look like across the state now compared to what it was when you first started?
So we started with two, right? We started with
Yeah.
two, a large high school in the metro area, and then my rural school. And we started with two. And then we had the coalition that we formed. And
Yep.
that's where I met you and met a bunch of other people that were on board. And it was like, it was instantaneous. And I wish I had, like, I'm sure the stats are somewhere where it was like two. And then it was what, like I want to say it was like
It was
20
when
or 40.
I joined. Yeah, when I joined, there was only 5. So like
Okay, so it
from
was like 2, then
2, then
5.
5, and then after that was 20, and then 100. Like
Just
it
boom,
just
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it was exploded. And it was, I mean, teachers just were like, yes,
this works.
yes. And the best part, I mean, and it's still growing. And you want to know why? And this is like where it's just the going to your full circle
Full
thing.
circle moments.
I have
Yeah.
2 students that I started with at Proctor that are now teaching adaptive PE and unified.
Amazing.
Erica and Annika. Like,
yes,
I cannot even tell you.
You are so proud. You're a proud mom.
I'm like a mom. Like, I am a
Yeah.
mom. I feel like I'm
I
their
have
mom.
to
I
tell you
probably
this
could. I'm old enough
too.
to be their mom, but
Okay. In my first unified PE class, I had a student who is a partner, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a DAPE teacher someday. It's who I am. Her mom was my colleague. And she is now my colleague too.
yes.
So
Oh
I'm
my
working with
gosh.
my former student too. She's one of my colleagues now. And like when you think about what kids walk into, and I talk about being brave and like understanding, like you're in your circle, in your box, but when you start to recognize you can take a step out and like grow as a human, like your world just like opens up and gets so big, right? And so I feel like in unified, like all students have the chance to be brave and connect. Mm-hmm. And when they find that belonging, look out, because your culture is just going to explode and be
1000%.
It's like, it's just a different culture. And
your school has to be ready for it.
Your school has to be ready. And I feel like Minnesota,
I don't think they believed. Like at first, I don't think they believed me. Like I was like, this is going to change some things. Yeah. And then when they started seeing the high fives in the hallway, which I feel like kind of became a cliche thing, like, oh, high fives in the hallway, or like changing the lunchroom. Mm-hmm. No, but it really happens.
It changed.
And when you see it, it's it.
Yeah. Or like when you teach floor hockey in your class to all students, and you have the hockey, this is what happened to me, the captain of the girls hockey team teaching a student with intellectual disability how to play, and then invites that student out in the community to go watch her play hockey. And now she understands stick, puck, goals. Yeah. We got to get it, following traffic, all that stuff. And then they just have this best friend thing going on. But then then the student gets out in the community and they have friends in the community. Mm-hmm. Their parents cry. They cry all the time.
I know. Yeah. And that's all. I mean, that's all any parent wants, right? Yeah. Is their kid to have, like, to be seen and to be supported in their community, and to have friends, and to want to go support friends at games and activities and go to dances and all of that. And unfortunately, like, that is not the reality for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Because we don't do a great job. It's as a society. And are we getting better? Yes. Do we have a long way to go? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Unified's doing that. And that's what the best part with, pouring into our students and teaching them to be brave in Unified, but also outside of Unified.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, and I think truly, like I talked about MinDape at the beginning of this podcast about how it's the 50th anniversary or whatever, but like looking back, it's because of MinDape that all this really exploded. I remember sitting in, it was probably yours or the other teachers, and in with Nick Cedargren too.
Probably all together. I think we all did it together. I think we did them all together on the first like big power tour we went on. We're like, everybody needs to join in.
Right.
That's what it was.
And then, so I remember I'd be like, we're ready for that. Like my students were hungry for something like this. And like, I always tell teachers when we talk about Unified and starting Unified, like, what is the temperature of inclusion around your school? What does your cafeteria look like? Right. Nick used to say, look at your cafeteria. Are all of your students sitting together?
Where are the dots
with disabilities? Where are the dots? Right. The Shelley Moore dots.
Yep.
I still use those. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy because those dots in the lunchroom will scatter and interact and just, and then the whole culture changes. Really quick, I want to highlight that Erica Anderson is watching us, and I want to bring this comment on. She goes, "Happy almost Friday. This is better than football."
Yes, it is.
Yeah, let's go. So
Thanks,
hi,
Erica.
thanks for joining us. So really quick, we mentioned the Unified Coalition. Like I don't know about you, but this felt like to me coming together and almost navigating the Wild West, things that had never been done before. Like it was really exciting, and we were kind of like, what could this look like for the state? And now here we are. Like
that table was electric back then.
Yeah. Do you remember some of the things we talked about that we wanted to happen that are actually now happening when it comes?
All of it.
It's all happening. So we have. What are some of the things? Mentoring. Do you ever have teachers coming in and watching you?
All the time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. There was a time, maybe it was last year, the year before, I felt like I had 15 teachers in my classroom at one point, in and out, all throughout the year. We talked about podcasts. This is the podcast.
There it is. Here it is.
Here it is.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
And do you remember it was like a pre-min shape conference that we did with Special Olympics that we all planned? I feel like that was a turning point in this journey for Minnesota too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And wasn't Stephanie Morris there too? Like big wigs.
Yes, the big wigs came out from Shape America, and they knew that it was special. They knew that this was the fire that this was catching was notable and needed to keep going and to be seen. And then we actually signed an agreement with Shape America and MinShape between Special Olympics and Special Olympics North America to make sure that this kept going and that our teachers had resources and connections. So
absolutely,
it's a lot of good people.
Yeah. And now we have, I think it's close to 400 schools in the state of Minnesota. I think when I checked with Max Jennings, that's where we're at. And I can't remember if I told you, but I texted Nick Cedergren and I said, how does it feel to know that you worked with 2 National Teachers of the Year to start this in Minnesota? He was like, oh, I'm so proud of you.
I miss that guy. Yes, he was so instrumental, and just the dedication that he had to all people was unmatched.
Super good. Just so good. Let's see. I kind of talked about unified PE being another tool in our toolbox. It's not for everybody. It's not for every kid, but it is a tool that we can work to better include our kids. And I know some of my kids aren't ready to go to the general PE setting, and it's almost like an in-between step. It's not in a legal setting. We're not going to say unified PE setting in the goals or anything, but just thinking about how can we better include students. So I thought about that too. So anyway, do you have any questions or anything that you're thinking about as we wrap up the unified PE section of the podcast, Lisa?
I don't know. How can we connect on stuff? No, I'm just kidding. More with our students. I love that. I'm so excited for Victory Day, and participating in bigger events is so fun and so bucket fulfilling. But I think remember the Goose Chase last year? Did you guys do that?
We did not. Well, we've done it in the past. We did not do it last year. But Goose Chase is a really great way to kind of
connecting schools. Yeah, that was so. I learned a lot from that.
Did you?
Yeah, it was great. Awesome. I thought it was great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Before we get into Shape Baltimore, which was kind of a big deal this year for somebody I know, I want to share this email that I literally got this morning from one of my staff members. She says, "Good morning. I peeked at a student schedule this morning and wanted to give you flowers, in quotes, for your hard work." So she's giving us props. "For your hard work creating unified classes. For many years and still happening in many districts, kids sat in resource rooms doing worksheet packets because there were no other classes for them to take. It is refreshing to see full student schedules with meaningful, engaging classes. Thank you for creating unified home living, companion animal science, and PE, along with so many other unified opportunities for kids. With gratitude."
Look at that.
yeah, like that is how far we've come in a lot of districts. Like my school, unified PE, once we knew we had it, it became the model for all the other unified classes. And like everyone else is like, how can I teach that? Like, how can I teach that model? So unified music, unified home living, unified work-based learning, unified, we're going to have unified stage acting this year. For real. Like we're trying to figure out.
I'll be there.
You can come.
Oh yeah. Just
okay. I'll connect you with our teacher for that.
Yes. I would love to come watch. You and I can go. That'd be great.
Okay. Sounds good. But yeah, Unified has really made big impact on a lot of our students, but also us as teachers. And I think one way to describe it that was described to one of our admin is that I work really, really hard for this class. Or he says, I work really hard for this class, but it's the most rewarding year that I've ever had. That was his first year of teaching unified agriculture. And so that's a science class. Yeah. So like you work really hard, but gosh, I cannot think of a better bucket filling way to teach our students when it's the least restrictive environment for those kids. But
right, absolutely.
Anyway, I want to. Yes, I want to get into Shape Baltimore because I've titled this podcast, Full Circle Moments, and Lisa and I are reconnecting, talking about some of the things that we've been through. Some things we talked through the pandemic. We helped each other through the pandemic together. Unified PE together, and now we're both teachers of the year, and that's another thing that we have.
It's so cool. Crazy.
But I want to circle back to Shape Baltimore, and I want to know, you're sitting in the closing session, and they're reading off the nominations for Teacher of the Year for physical education for high school, and you're in the mix. What are you feeling when your name is called?
That is the wildest thing, honestly. Just sitting there with these incredible folks, and my group is dynamite. I mean, we are family, and we were there with each other and sitting with my newly found close friends. It was like right at the gate, just so supportive of each other. And I like listening to Casey Page say my name was it was wild. It's honestly wild. I guess that's maybe how celebrities feel when they win Oscars. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. I was nervous. My heart was pounding in my chest, and I've never felt that way before. And I look down the row, and I see my husband and my daughter, and she's like videoing me with her phone and just like
it was so sweet.
It was having them there was the coolest thing ever. Giving her a hug and walking up there, it was surreal. It really was surreal. And it was huge. I mean, the room is huge, and there's so many people there, and just hearing applause, it was cool. You can't say it isn't, because it is.
Right. I know for me, I think I probably shared on this podcast before, but I like to have this conversation with every Teacher of the Year that I bring on, because I'm like, what did it feel like for you? But for me, I just remember, so when I was at Shape NOLA a couple years ago, 2022, and the moment I met my sister Teacher of the Years from the different districts for adapted PE, instant sisters, instant besties, right? We still talk to each other, and we're on all the platforms, and we have different threads of all the platforms and memes and all that stuff. But we support each other through some of the things that we're doing now too. But all throughout the week, we attended sessions together. You're just trying to figure it out. What does it mean to attend a national conference and kind of be a Teacher of the Year nominee? That's weird.
That was weird. That was right? Weird. I mean, the whole week leading up to it was really, I think we agreed on that. I was like, oh gosh, this is weird.
Yeah. So when we got to the final session, I just remember this. So I remember everybody, MinShape was like, let's take a picture 10 minutes before we're going in there, and just Max and I okay. And we're stuck back there. We're like, well, we gotta go. And so we get in there, and first of all, they had 2 keynotes that year. So we had to sit through 2 keynotes. And they went over, and so we're just anxious. And my husband got off his plane and it took him he walked in, it was like 45 minutes later when they announced. So it was like by the hair of his skin.
So maybe it was good they had 2 keynotes.
It was good, yeah, for me, yeah.
Yeah,
so anyway,
for you, it was great.
I'm sitting in my chair. Yep, I'm sitting in my chair, and I have both Sadie and Katie and Kasha, like we're just sitting with each other. And in my head, this is how I'm coping, right? I'm seeing Kasha's name get called and her going up, and we're all clapping for Kasha, and then I'm like reverse, and then Sadie's name gets called and she's walking up, we're all cheering for Sadie, and like and then like Katie's name gets called and she goes up and she like talks or whatever. But then they announce my name. I'm like, wait, that's me. I get to go up there. Yeah. And then I'm like, wow, wait, that like, and then you stand up there and you're like in front of like all these peers and professors and like Stephanie Morris and our Mama Michelle and just all these like people. You're like, these are really important people, and I get to talk to them about why I'm here.
Yeah.
And I like talking. So luckily my speech was like, they told us 2 minutes. I did 6.
There you go. It's your time.
But you know what? Like when you have your time, you have your time, right?
It's true.
But I remember her like walking out of there and like, I can't believe this just happened. And I'm like, let's go get food. Like it was me, my husband, and my mom. Yeah. We spent that time together afterwards, and I just like zoned out and ate tacos. Like that's how I celebrated chips like, and guac and salsa.
Just happened? Yeah.
Like wow. Sure. Like obviously I called people, but it's just a surreal experience. And then for the next year, and you're in the thick of it right now, opportunities come up and people ask you a lot of questions and you get to be that support person. But I feel like if this would have happened to me 4 years ago, I would not have been able to do this. You know what I mean? Sure. Like 4 years before, like, I just feel like the timing for me was just in the right spot. And I don't know if this was for you too, but I just felt like I was in a position, in a position where I feel like so connected to people and have met so many people now that I was like, oh, that was just the right time. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah. And it's a funny thing, right? The universe has a way of lining you up in just the right time usually.
Yeah.
I do. I feel that way too. I do. I felt, this was because I had won the state award in 2022. So this was actually the last year that I was even eligible for it.
Oh,
and so I had waited a little bit just because I felt the need to wait.
Yeah. That makes sense.
With some guidance of, for my peers. And I wanted to do it right. And, make sure that, and, it was all correct in that way for me. And so some people win state and then immediately apply. Some take time. So it just depends on a lot of different factors for you. And I think, if you are ever my advice for people that will ever be in this position of winning a state and or district award would be like, take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time.
I think I'm thinking back to mine, and in 2020, I was named the Min-Shape Teacher of the Year for Adapted PE for the state, but I did not win the first time. So I had applied right away. Well, obviously, like you apply for a state right away, but I didn't get it the first year. And I just like, it was good timing that I didn't, because I would have needed to grow a little bit. But then I applied right away. And it turned out well for me. But like, I can see, like, there are other people in the state of Minnesota who have won those awards right now. They're like, for my family, for this reason, like, I just need to wait. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's totally okay.
It's okay. It's absolutely okay. Do it when it's right. You don't want to feel forced and any of that. And I'm excited to mentor future winners. It'll be fun. It's
amazing.
Great. Yeah.
It'll
be fun.
I applied for that, but they had so many people that they didn't need me. And I was like, great. That's a great deal.
Actually, that is great.
I want to talk about your speech because I remember it.
I blacked out.
I don't know that you do.
No. I remember parts of it, but yeah.
Yep. So Lisa Smith is accepting her award on stage, and she has this beautiful speech written, and you talk about Baltimore. So tell me a little bit about why receiving your award at Baltimore was so important. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah,
you can add to it.
I do. I remember that part.
If you remember that part.
I remember that part. I remember that part. Yes. So it was surreal and full circle for me. Going back to your title. In Baltimore in 2007, I was there as an undergrad because Winona State University is perpetually phenomenal at making sure that their undergrads attend a national conference.
Yes.
At least once in their undergrad, and pretty much, I mean, a lot of them go multiple times. And though, they're wearing their purple shirts all over and they're visible. And I'm so proud to be an alumni of that school. But in 2007, I won NASB Major of the Year, right? When there was NASB and AHI and all those guys. So I got Major of the Year in 2007 for our university out there, and that is, and my parents were there.
Amazing.
And so when I told my dad, I was like, Dad, you want to come to Baltimore? I might get this award. I don't know. He's like, didn't I already go there for an award for you? You literally said that. You literally said that. And I was like, yeah, but you knew I was getting that one. And it was like forever ago, almost 20 years. And he's like, just call me if you win. I was like,
thanks,
Dad.
Appreciate it.
So you can imagine how he was like, man, I probably should have gone to that.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad. But it was definitely full circle. And I just, all of it. I mean, I was shaped by these conferences, and I was shaped by this organization, and shaped by MinShape. I was shaped by my professors that guided me there and wouldn't, expect anything less.
Yeah.
And those were the people that, told us to dream and to never settle and to don't be boring, right? Like, don't be a boring teacher. Don't roll the ball out. If I ever get to that point, I need you to tell me to be done. I should never roll a ball out. I should never be that kind of teacher. And Unified came to me in a time where I was kind of feeling like I need something.
Yeah.
And it came to me, and it completely changed my trajectory as a human being and as a teacher. So,
you know what?
And you.
Same. Like I was in a spot where I was kind of like burnt out, I guess is the word.
Yes.
Like walking out of buildings being like,
going through emotions,
and realize, and then I realized, like, I'm the reason why I'm angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need to figure out what is going to light me up. I'm burnt out. I'm dried up. I need something to light me up. And that's what it turned out to be.
Absolutely.
Another tool in our toolbox that we can access.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Wonderful.
Totally.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that was, and I think I thanked a bunch of people. My speech.
You did. Yeah.
Probably did.
You did.
We talked about it, I think I talked about Unified, talked about Special Olympics, talked about all those folks.
Yep.
I mean, like, I feel like I could have written 1,000 thank you notes because, we stand on the shoulders of giants, Jen.
That's what I texted you when I won, because it talks
you
about
you did text
about
me
you.
that.
Don't you remember? Like, as you said that, I was like, wait, I told you that.
Yeah. You did. And that I got that quote from my grad school program in Grundy Center, Iowa, when I was sitting in a small room with Bob Knipe and Becca Lambden Abram. And we had a professor come from New Zealand who talked to us about that. And that was pivotal in my life too. It's just like, you can't do this alone. You gotta, you have to stand on the shoulders of giants in order to see where you could possibly go. And then also not be afraid to bring people with you. They ask for help and all that kind of stuff. So that's the only way the only way we did this.
Right. Yeah. And, as you're talking about this, another thing that came to mind was like having that visualization of one hand in front of us, reaching out for help, one hand behind us, bringing those with us. And when we're all connected, we go somewhere and make a difference.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. That's what this is.
That is. So I have a couple more questions before I get into takeaways.
Okay.
But in your story is teaching all students. Students with without disabilities. So how do you think they nudged you forward in the journey as a teacher of the year?
man, I wouldn't even like say nudged me. They are the ones that got it for me.
Hey.
They are. The video that I had my students, you have to have someone do a letter of recommendation for you, right? Like a student or a parent or something.
Yep.
And I was talking with one of my colleagues about it, and one of my students overheard me. She's like, I want to do it. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Oh, sure. That'd be phenomenal.
Get it.
And she's like, can I do it in like a video? Can I do, and I was like, why not? Because she goes, I don't really want to write. I was like, me neither. That's fine. But
I get it.
So she did a video, and I was not around. I gave the questions to our one of our audiovisual guy, like persons at school, and I said, this is what they need to talk about. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be part of it. This is them recommending me for this. Mm-hmm. And they did this. And after I got it, they sent me the video, and it was just like, yeah, it was crazy. They're the ones that got me it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was them.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. Like seeing them through me, like we learn from them. We become better people and teachers and community members and parents. I'm a better parent because of this class. I have more patience for my daughter. And it's just that's it. I'm not,
absolutely.
It's not me, it's them.
That's on it. Like coming out of this process, I also agree. Like I think I went into teaching kind of with like this hero complex of like, I'm going to come in and I'm going to like save my students. I'm going to help them be who they are. And like, I've realized through unified PE and adapted PE, but unified PE, I know we're all losing it. We're all losing it.
It's the other way around, right?
They are the legends. Like I wanted to come in and be a legend.
Yeah.
But it's our students. We're making legends.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Humbled. Exactly. They humble us every day, every single day.
Yep.
For sure.
So in closing, I was going to ask you for a word of encouragement, but I think that was it. We're just going to take that one and
we got to go with that.
Feed it to our souls.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, yeah. I'm going to keep you on here, but I want to just talk about some of our takeaways. As I think is what I have next. Whoops. Let's go back. I don't know how to get back. Let's push some buttons. There we go. Here we go. Right here. This is the button I want. So I'm just going to slide forward a little bit. By the way, this podcast is brought to you by Fit and Fun Playscapes. They are our sponsor for the 25-26 school year. So we like them because
thank you, Fit and Fun.
We can continue to be doing this for a whole year. And it's just a mind-blowing blessing that we are where we are. And it's because of people like Pam Gunther who helps us along the way here. So you guys should check them out. There's your beautiful picture, Lisa. And I had the opportunity to stand right next to you afterwards when all the crazies were going down. I got to do your interview. Guy was like, you're doing your podcast. Let's have, the interview. So I got to like stand next to all the teachers of the year and interview them.
It was actually very calming to see you. I'll be honest.
Good.
Yeah. I was just like, what? And then I was like, oh, hi, Jen.
Hi.
Hi.
I think I gave you a hug and a congratulations.
Yes.
But that plaque is beautiful, but you said it's still in the package. So we won't say anything.
Tell people that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. My colleague told me I have to clean my shelf off and put it up there. So I'll do it and I'll send you a picture.
Yes. So takeaways from today, like, I came into the podcast today just thinking like we're going to tell stories and we're going to celebrate like the heart behind what we do a lot today. And I think we crushed it. Like, I think this is a great podcast.
It's my first podcast
we talked about, I know we did so good. We have history. That's why. I think my takeaways were that the kids build into us and make us who we are as teachers. We talked about that the kids are the legends. We aren't the legends. They fill us, students with and without disabilities, all students. We talked about standing on other people's shoulders today. One hand in front, one hand behind, and when we move together, we create change. which is what we've really seen as adapted PE teachers and general PE teachers in the state of Minnesota when it comes to just doing better for our students, starting unified PE, and like how that has greatly like impacted not only like Lisa's school and my school's culture, but like literally across the whole state. Like we talked about this too, like we have kids coming into our class that are turning into our colleagues, and how cool that is, right?
It's surreal. It's absolutely surreal.
Yes, absolutely. And we talked about full circle moments, Lisa's favorite stories from Unified, and how Baltimore was one of your full circle moments. And this Unified PE journey has been a full circle moment. And both of us being Shape America National Teachers of the Year is a full circle moment. Definitely. So I want to ask you, Lisa, what are some of your takeaways from this podcast? So we always ask our kids, like, what are you learning? What are your takeaways from what we did today? So I'd like to hear from you.
Well, I mean, being my first podcast, I had a lot to learn, and I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it, and I enjoyed being able to reminisce. I haven't talked about the journey in a long time.
Yeah.
And so being able to tell the story again and to say the names of people who were so instrumental in bringing this to our state, I'd love to just like yell them from a mountaintop. These people deserve so much. They just deserve so much love and all the happiness in the world for bringing this to our state and for amplifying us to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to talk about them and is my biggest takeaway, I think, and giving space for their names. So
yes,
I appreciate you creating that for us.
Yes, absolutely. For next month, this is a big surprise, but I'm coming at the podcast with 2 guests instead of 1 guest next month. They're both occupational therapists and very close friends. And I think we as adapted PE teachers get to collaborate with all different kinds of people, but OTs have been lifesavers for us. And I think if we learn how to work with them, they know the sensory system, they know how to, create those routines. So I'll have 2 OTs coming in.
That's awesome. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. So I just got to get them scheduled, but they are on board. So that's coming at you. And then I just want to say thank you to you, Lisa. This podcast is like, I think we crushed it. I think this is the best one we've had so far.
Well, appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes. And our listeners, and so anyone listening or following, thank you so much for coming in. And again, Fit and Fun Playscapes. But I want to share where you can catch this podcast. It is on YouTube, but you can follow us on social media. So follow us on X on at Heartbeats of Adapted PE, and then Blue Sky at Heartbeats of APE at bluesky.social. And obviously Blue Sky is BSKY, Blue Sky. And then you can always email us at heartbeatsofadaptedpe@gmail.com. And then where you can watch. So we always have our YouTube page going live, and you can always rewatch there. There is a live event happening. We're finishing that up in the Health and Physical Education Collective. And
yes, Jordan.
Yes, Jordan Manley runs that with me. He's on my board. And then Shape America YouTube has also picked up this podcast. So you can go to their website and catch the live there. We work with Spotify and Apple slowly but surely. I think we have like 2 episodes. So that is on the agenda down the road to get all these episodes up there. But
cool.
You can check us out there too. And I think that's all I have for us. But thank you so much, friends, for tuning in. Feel free to share with anybody. I have some professors sharing this with their students as like curriculum discussion. Like you can use these podcasts for a lot of different purposes. So thank you so much. And I hope you'll join us for episode 7 next month. All right. Thanks, Lisa. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Good job.